93. Clinton gave speeches about it. And here we are, an internal checkpoint. And they fund it through this toll. So that's the new America. And here we are at the internal checkpoint, about 20 miles inside Kansas, in southern Kansas, coming out of Oklahoma. It's all part of the freedom. Mike will be able to shoot video outside the window. Coming up to the slave grid. And there's a K-tag scanner right there. See it? Yeah. There's a K-tag scanner right there, Mike. Up. This is a ticket system.
You're in the wrong one?
I don't have K-tag.
Oh, no.
Oh, the ticket. So I guess there's they built more internal checkpoints for us. See, in 96, I told the lady, or 97, I told the lady on this road, she says, I love K-tag. And I said, you love K-tag, you're going to lose your job.
And she did.
And she did. And so now they only have to have a certain polling place, toll place, where we'll cash this in, I guess. So, yeah, you love K-tag. Oh, you love the self-checkout lanes. The cashiers say they get to check themselves out. And they say it takes their load off. Yeah, until they take out all the checkout lanes, which is the plan. You guys, they're building a giant prison. I'm talking about the grocery stores, how it all interconnects. Oh, we're in deep trouble. The whole cashless society, what it does is how it makes people lose their jobs. That's what I'm getting at. One of my weird roundabout ways. So here it is. We warned them in 97, 6 years ago. Did we not, Mason?
Yes.
Did we not, Mike?
Yeah.
We warned you. No more job. I'm like, where's the person? There's a little, did you get the little radio scanner?
Yeah.
Little K-tag scanner? I don't have a K-tag, so I had to get a ticket. And soon, they've already made it in areas of Northern California, San Francisco. You've got to have the transponder in your car, even if you don't use the tollways. And the radio readers do scan you as you go around town, but it's all about freedom, fighting Al-Qaeda. Because it was all put in before Al-Qaeda, CIA attacked us. So, and they close lots of lanes, they squeeze us down, and it's just a wonderful new system. It'll be all over the country. To get into cities, you'll have to pay tolls. Why do I keep saying tolls? To get into cities, you'll have to pay tolls. And there'll be a satellite tracker box in your car taxing you. It's fun. The Southern Terminal. And for no reason, they shut the road down to one lane when they can easily have two or three. It's all part of freedom. And then we... Ooh. That's what I said. Get ready.
And here's another one. Ashley's got a nice pyramid.
Okay, go ahead, Alex. Here she goes.
Oh, how gracious of her.
She still does the job, but I'm a robot.
How's it going?
It's going. You guys aren't supposed to be videotaping at the KTA.
Oh, really? Why? Oh, what's the law?
Because it's one of their authorized rules and regulations and you can be arrested for it.
Oh.
Well, better call the police then.
Oh, here she goes.
Oh, this is going to be great.
Should I just keep it rolling?
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Well, say it, Alex.
Well, we just got threatened with arrest in the United States of America at a toll booth with a video camera. And she just told us we're going to get arrested.
Okay, I'm asking you want me to keep it going?
Well, literally, we pull in here, we ask the lady, how's she doing? She says, no videotaping.
Why not? I've never heard that. We're on our own car.
How about I pull over here and wait for him?
How are you?
How much do I owe you? How about I pull over and wait for the police? I want to...
It's going to be $4.75.
Well, no, she said she's calling the police on me. I want to wait for him.
I'm not making a big issue of it.
Well, I'm a syndicated talk show, so the television show. I know the laws in this country, and I'm going to enjoy this. I know this is an internal checkpoint. I know she says it's airport rules, but it's not. But I'm proving this to people with this example. Incredible.
Here she is.
This woman
There she is right here.
Yeah, I don't want her to make false charges. Ma'am, you can't quote any law to me, but do you need me to stay for the police?
Would you ask her, please? She just threatened.
Sir, if you hold up the traffic any longer, I will have to call it.
Okay, we got it on tape. You guys cool to go. Thank you. Bye-bye.
God, what a joke. I cannot believe that.
All right, you may have to eject that tape and put a new one in.
I know,
They'll
go
try to
ahead.
confiscate it.
Go ahead and tell us what happened.
It's just the new country, folks. That's all it is.
All right, sorry to interrupt here. Stay tuned right here on these channels for more classics from Mike Hanson Archives. But I just want to take a moment to ask for your help to fund these channels. We are asking a $25 donation to buy my book. I wrote this book about Bohemian Grove, about when Alex Jones and I snuck into the Bohemian Grove Club, and it tells all about it. Tex Mars forwarded it. He just recently passed away, so it's becoming a real collector's item. Alex has his own chapter in this book, and it's very good, full of pictures and all sorts of things. You know, George W. Bush and his father was a member of the Bohemian Club, and Junior still is. But it's a really good, thick book, and we'd appreciate a $25 donation sent to. I will definitely sign it and send it right back to you. If you want to call us at 830-672-3089, that's my office. Just leave your name and phone number, and the secretary will call you back. And you can pay with a credit card. And if you want to write us, our address is, once again, send that $25 for this book right here, Bohemian Grove, Cult of Conspiracy. I wrote that book, forwarded it by Tex Mars. Alex Jones has a chapter in it, and a lot of other people. So we appreciate. Stay tuned to these local YouTube channels and Facebook and Instagram, and I'm on Twitter now too. So stay tuned for Mike Hanson Archives and all the classics. Most of these tapes are 25 years old or a little bit younger. Alrighty, thanks a lot and God bless. Please support us when you can, where you can. Here's the address one more time and the phone number, and we'll get right back to your viewing of these classics. Be sure to go to Mike Hanson Archives, Hanson Archives, and our new one, Waco Archives. Thanks a lot and God bless.
Champagne glasses at the wedding.
Yeah, that's what it kind of looks like.
Just one little tip and everything goes over.
Yeah. That's a lot of video. I'm trying to get a hold of her. What's
Yes, sir.
You say that, Ted?
what I can live with myself.
Little Cox watch, right in the middle. You need to start getting them on everybody's birthday, so they know everybody's watching. I have a treat for you today. Ralph Epperson. He has been fighting the New World Order and has wrote a lot of books. Can you tell us tell the people of Travis County, Texas? Have you ever been to Austin? First of all,
No, I don't think so. Never to Austin. Not that I've ever remembered. No.
well, tell us who Ralph Epperson is, and what books have you wrote?
Okay, well, thank you very much. Ralph Epperson is a writer and historian, lecturer. I've been researching the conspiratorial view of history since 1963 when I started. I've written 3 books. I've got 2 of them with me today. The third.
Show us. What do we have here?
This is called The Unseen Hand. It's a book about the conspiratorial view of history. It's called Introduction to it. This will show you there's been an actual conspiracy at work in America for over 200 years. This is the documented proof, the 500-page book, but there's 600 or 1,000 footnotes to show you where I got it from. This is not my idea. It's the idea of those that I'm quoting. Then I wrote my second book called The New World Order. This book is an attempt to explain what it is and what the purpose of it is. Why is it on the back of our dollar bill? Back in 1782, this was designed into our nation by our founding fathers, and now we are fulfilling that. I mean, they're bringing it to us whether we like it or not. So the point is, I'm trying to make it known as to why these things are happening in this country, and that was the purpose of my second book.
What do you have any names that people would recognize who's behind this so-called conspiracy to take our liberty away and also to take our wealth away? I think that you talk a lot about the Federal Reserve.
That's correct. Let me go back. Yes, we do know. In fact, today during this seminar, I'm going to play an audio tape of Bill Clinton the night he gave his Democratic acceptance speech at the Democratic National Convention in 1992. Bill Clinton is going to verbalize with his own mouth and admit there is a conspiracy at work in the United States. Bill Clinton said it with his own mouth. He confirmed for 40 years of my research with about 3 sentences during his speech. If you say you don't believe that, I'm inviting you to find out. Get in touch with me. I'll show you the clip. I've got it. The actual.
Do you have an email or a website people can get a hold of you?
Yeah. If you want it, my website is, if you want to go to a Google and type in Ralph Epperson or one of the search engines, Ralph Epperson with 2 P's, RalphEpperson. Type that in. The very first site that comes up is called Ralph Epperson's Conspiracy History. That's me. I'm the first site on Google. So you can find that way if you wish to find me. Secondly, if you want to write to me, it's Epperson, Epperson, Epperson Raw, at AOL.com. And that's me. If you want to find me, I have an 800 number. Call me, 800-422-3888. Call me. I answer the phone. We'll talk.
Okay, well, let me ask you this. You were talking about Bill Clinton. Don't you think that Bush and that family's just as dangerous as Bill Clinton?
One of the things that Bill Clinton admitted when he said there was a conspiracy, he admitted that they control, this conspiracy controls both parties equally. That means we have no choice. It's like a wrestling match. The wrestling match is predetermined in advance who's going to win. So when he comes to our city, the guy with the blonde hair is the bad guy and the guy with the black hair is the good guy. Then they go to Phoenix or another city and they reverse the roles. It doesn't matter. The whole thing was predetermined. Just like Bush and Reagan, Carter, Nixon, you name it. All of these men, and Bill Clinton admitted this with his own mouth, are controlled by the same conspiracy. No question about it.
Well, I did it. Are you familiar with David Icke? I did an interview with David Icke, and he said that all these presidents, they come from the same bloodline. Do you believe in that?
Let's say it this way. I have heard that there is a bloodline with many of our presidents that you can actually trace through genealogical records. That might be true. I don't really care. It doesn't matter to me, because people like Ronald Reagan were not in the bloodline, but he was our president. So it doesn't matter to me. David Icke makes the claim that these people are related to some sort of reptilian race that came from some planet. That to me, and please understand this, since I'm in your area now, I am an honorary citizen of Missouri.
I'm from Texas, though.
Honorary citizen of Missouri. We're in Missouri now. I think we are.
Maybe we are. We're coming to you live from Kansas City, Missouri. Can you believe that, folks?
So I'm saying this, and I urge all of your listeners to do this as well. From now on, I want all of you to become an honorary citizen of Missouri. Why? Missourians have the claim that they are the show-me state. I'm saying to you now, I'm saying to David Icke, I'll use him as an example. David Icke, if you're making a claim that Queen Elizabeth is a reptilian that can change from a human into a lizard in front of your very eyes, show us. If you can't show us, I don't have time to read it or study it. Study those things that you can prove. That's why I wrote my books. The evidence that I'm right is overwhelming. It's in their own literature.
Stick with the facts.
Thank you.
But when I did my interview with him, he his people said, well, you're going to give us 10 minutes, but he ended up giving me an hour. He didn't mention anything about the reptilian race. He stuck with the facts, so I was proud of that. And I agree with you. We need to give the people the facts and let them make their own minds up what they're going to do.
That's right. And that's been my whole life's research for 40-some years. I document. I will not make statements that I cannot prove. I can prove. I'm going to show it today. I'm going to play an audio cassette of Bill Clinton admitting there is an international network, he called it, at work in this country. I didn't say that. Bill Clinton said it himself.
Is that the same thing as the New World Order?
The New World Order is on the back of our dollar bill. It was committed, our nation was committed to the New World Order by the Founding Fathers in 1782 when they designed the Great Seal of the United States. In fact, I'll invite your listeners, maybe you already discussed this, flip the dollar bill over on its back and look at those two circles. And then ask yourself, how many of those symbols do you know about? Do you understand? And I'm saying this. I started discussing this in 1985 on a nationwide speaking tour, and I could not find anyone in this country that understood what those symbols meant. Now people do, because I started the questioning back in 1985. Now the question is, why do we not know what these symbols mean? And I'm saying because they contain our future. Our future is the New World Order. What's that? Now I'm going to make it very simple. The New World Order is, we believe in the Old World Order, which holds these things as true. The New World Order reverses everything. We believe in God, no God. We believe in family, no family. We believe in religion, no religion. We believe in private property, no private property. You think it's impossible? Read the documented evidence that's true. I'm not making this up. This is what they want to do. They're going to abolish private property? Exactly. They're going to abolish the family? Exactly. They're going to abolish religion? Exactly. That's what it is. You say it's impossible? Read their own words. That's what I did.
The timetable here, it seemed like they're moving up the timetable pretty quick. Do you have any thoughts about how long do we have before we see a total change in America? We've already, in your lifetime, I'm sure, I know in my lifetime, have seen a lot. Have you? What is your thought for the future?
Let me say this. I wrote this book in 1989. It was published in 1990. Now understand, 1990 is 10 years before the year 2000. And I started preaching watch the year 2000 in 1985. That's 15 years in advance. I expected the New World Order to start on the 1st of January, the year 2000. In fact, it's all through here, all the evidence. When it didn't happen, I added a provision on the very first page that this did not happen. However, that does not mean that my research was incorrect. I didn't make a prediction. I based it on what they were saying themselves.
Maybe people like you and Alex Jones and John Statmiller, all these people, put them behind schedule. Have you ever thought about that? And all the other millions of people that are fighting this.
That's exactly what I believe. I can't prove that, but conversely, those who don't believe that I did it can't prove that I didn't. So I'm saying this. Something changed their plans. The plan for the year January the 1st, 2000 was set in concrete. It's all the way through their evidence, and it didn't happen. Why? I cannot explain that. I can only say this. It didn't happen, and I believe it was because of your point that not only me but others started revealing the truth about it way in advance. By the way, this book came out before George Bush mentioned the phrase. This book came out in 1990, within months before George Bush talked about it in 1990.
And this one here, this is a very famous book. I've heard about this. When did this one come out?
1985. I published that in 1985. That book is still selling. It's selling word of mouth only. Every major bookstore in the country can get one. They might not have one because the book's 17, 18 years old. But you can ask them to order it if you want to read the book. Buy it that way, but get the book and read it because there's something going on in this country, and this will show you what it is.
Well, let me ask you this, Ralph. Is this available in the library where people can read it for free?
You'd have to check your own individual library. Once again, the book is now 18 years old. I talked to my local library that had copies. They don't have them anymore because they decided it wasn't being read enough, I guess, so they took it off. So if you can't find the library, ask them to buy one for you. Get one for you.
And once again, give us your website and where people can get a hold of you on the internet.
If you wish to get in touch with me, anyone wants to write to me, I'm on the internet, just simply Epperson, EPPERSON, and then RA, Epperson Raw, at AOL.com. If you're on AOL yourself personally, I'm Epperson Raw. Look me up. Let's talk. I talk all day long.
Well, I want to thank you for your service, and I'm running for Travis County Constable. I think, here's what my feelings is, we have to start locally. We can't start with Bush and all these people. We have to start locally to protect people's rights and individual liberty, and that's what I plan to do in Travis County.
Praise God. I wish you success. In fact, if you want me to, I'll register in your county and vote for you. Okay? Oh, no, I didn't say that.
You didn't hear that, Dana. The county clerk didn't hear that. We're just kidding.
Quick story?
Yeah.
A little boy comes up to his father and says, Daddy, Grandpa, how come he didn't come see us? This is in Chicago. He said, what do you mean, son? Grandpa's been dead for 25 years. He said, no, he came back to vote last weekend.
Well, sometime I think that they had that happen in Texas. The LBJ had some dead people voting for him.
One of the first books I read was A Texan Looks at Lyndon, famous book by who? I can't remember his name now. That book, Everett Haley, something like that, was a very famous book that exposed the fraud of Lyndon Johnson. But we elected him anyway. Why? Why would we do that? Because we don't know. That's the major problem in this country. We don't know. And I'm saying we're destroying ourselves. It's all preordained. It's going to happen whether you like it or not. The point is that hopefully we can prevent it like we did in the year 2000. And if we can do it again, maybe we'll succeed. Keep postponing it, and maybe it'll never happen.
Well, I agree with you, and I would still encourage people to get out and vote for Mike Hanson, for Travis County Constable, and we'll be back with some more people. Thank you so much, Ralph. We'll see you. And how's this thing in Kansas City going?
Oh, very well. I'm very pleased. Good turnout, a lot of response, interested people. These people care about their country, and that's why they're here. I would urge your listeners, please start figuring this out. If we don't do anything, I'm telling you, like Alex said at the very beginning, we are in very serious trouble. In fact, we are in serious trouble, but it's going to get a lot worse until we knowingly stop it. I'm not saying violence. I've never said violence. I'm not saying revolution. I'm saying education. That's the only answer. Educate yourself.
We want to restore what this country was all about because they're the ones breaking it down, not us.
That's correct. Thank you very much.
Hey, God bless you. We'll see you next time. We'll see you right back here, folks.
How do you do that? You just sit up there?
Yeah, I will.
People can't even interface with what they're saying. They have more allegiance to their job, more allegiance to groveling to a out-of-control bureaucrat than they do to their own shelter of their parents. Think about that.
You gonna put this on TV?
I'll put it in the roll-in.
Okay. No, what are you gonna do? Put it on the roll-in?
Now listen, say this is Lieutenant Beck, and I got a Clinton joke.
It's Lieutenant Beck. I got a Clinton joke.
Lieutenant Beck, Commander Travis County sponsor.
All right. I have a sense of humor.
Go.
Anyways, Monica went to her.
Start over with this is Lieutenant Beck, Travis County.
This is Lieutenant Beck, Travis County Sheriff's Department. We do have a sense of humor. Monica went to her plastic surgeon. She asked the plastic surgeon, remove my love handles. The doctor looked and said, why? You wouldn't be able to hear.
That's good. Got any more important numbers here we should look at?
Hello, folks. This is Jeff Davis with the legendary Jeff Davis Show from Central Texas, USA. And I love Mike Hanson Archives. Peace out, baby.
Tell us real fast, Lieutenant Beck, before you head out of town. I know you've been working hard all week. How come y'all are so cowardly that you won't have a shooting contest with me when I'll defeat you up and down the street?
No one backed out. Sheriff Frazier determined that it would probably be in the best interest not to do it. Some people would take it in good light and support it, and I'm sure there were other people who would take it the wrong way and give us all a hard time about it.
Tell us who you are, first of all.
Do I have to look in the camera?
Yeah, right there.
My name is Johnny Santoli, and I am with KCXL 1140 AM.
Right here in Kansas City. We're coming to you live from Kansas City. This is going to show in Austin, Texas.
Very good.
Okay, tell us what's going on here with the speakers you brought down. And, we drove up here in the middle of tornadoes. You had us driving up here in the middle of... We had to stop in Perry, Oklahoma. There was like 100 tornadoes following us.
Okay, but aren't there tornadoes in Texas?
Not right now. We didn't have any, but we do have tornadoes. But, I mean, I've never seen anything like this.
Well, we just got hit by tornadoes last week. It was very close to the station. You can see William Jewell College from the station, and we were very worried about the tower, but it did not get hit. So we were very thankful. But the college got hit. Luckily, the kids that were there didn't know to go downstairs, and they didn't get hit. So.
Well, here's what I was going to ask you. Good thing it didn't. The truth is really beaming out. What's the name of the radio station here in Kansas City if somebody just happens to be passing through from Austin, Texas, Travis County area, coming this way?
If you want to catch information in the Kansas City area, go to kcxl.com or 1140 AM if you're driving through. Like if you're a truck driver or a business person and you're traveling through, 1140 AM. We carry Alex Jones, and we love Alex Jones, and a lot of people are really listening to him, and he's very competitive up here. A lot more people that are tuning into him are telling their friends, and especially since 911, I think before 911 people were like, this guy is crazy. Now that 911 has happened, I think people are saying this guy might not be as off as we previously thought, and he is getting very popular in this area.
Well, he's been on Access TV in Austin, Texas for a long time, and so, I mean, I'm glad that he's expanding his radio shows. What's he on, about 100 radio stations now?
Gosh, I thought he was on more. But I think what helps is that his videos are documented, and when he presents his shows, he presents it with the information that he has documented, so he's done the research, so it's not like this is just my opinion like so many other of the political talk shows.
And you can see these videos right here on either 10 or 16 for free. Right here on channel 10 or 16, we play them over and over on these channels here.
Excellent. Also, if you're in the Kansas City area, we sell them at the KCXL bookstore.
But I have to cut that out because I told you we can't talk about selling things.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
That's all right. I edit.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a non-commercial station.
Okay. If you come through.
No, hold on a second. Hold on a second. I'll fix it for you. Well, also, y'all have a information store here that when you go through Kansas City, you can get some free information when you go through Kansas City. Where is that located in Kansas City?
We've found that a lot of people that listen to this type of station and to this type of information, they always want to talk about it, and they want to talk about their political views. So we opened up a KCXL bookstore, which is at 151 East Lexington, and a lot of people bring in free information that they want to share with others, like currently there's a big fluoride issue. Yeah. And we were able to fight it in Independence, Missouri, where the bookstore is, and it didn't get passed. And there was a lot of money involved. So we thought for sure it was going to get passed, but a lot of people that didn't want fluoride in their water stood up, fought, and it did not get passed.
And tell us why fluoride's bad. You know, San Antonio is one of the biggest cities that did not have fluoride in their water, just passed it. San Antonio, Texas, yes, they did. And Austin's had it for a long time. But tell the people of Austin, while they're drinking their fluoride water, why it's bad for you.
Fluoride, to my understanding, is very bad because it's a sedative. In fact, it was used in Nazi Germany to sedate people before they went into concentration camps. It is used to sedate bulls. I think that's still used currently, if I'm correct. And why do we want to put something in our children, in ourselves, that's going to sedate us? I'm against anything in the water. Now, I'm consider myself a health nut. I like taking vitamin C, but I don't want it in the water.
Well, you look good. And I certainly, we don't want to drink diet soda waters with aspartame in it because that is very bad too.
Now, I see your Dr. Pepper over there. My own view is I would rather have a little bit of Dr. Pepper or a little bit of Coke than diet anything, but I do try to drink water. But I do not like the diet stuff. I'd rather drink less and stay away from, of course, all carbonated sodas. But the fluoride, definitely. In fact, I found in People magazine, which I would say it's a very run-of-the-mill, not political either way, a warning saying that if your child ingests the toothpaste, to please bring them to the doctor's office immediately. So they're coming out with more and more studies that is linking fluoride even with cancer. The National Cancer Society has come up with that information, not us, not radio stations, not talk shows, but the Cancer Society. So if they're linking it with cancer, you know, why even put it in the water? Leave it out. And if you want fluoride, go buy it. You can buy it. Also, I didn't know if you knew this, but there is a ton of fluoride in like Wheaties, in food. So they don't even know how much fluoride that you're getting in your system with the food that you eat, which I did not know Wheaties had fluoride, but there is a lot of fluoride in Wheaties. Did you know this?
Hello, folks. It's Mike Hanson here, your Facebook buddy and YouTube friend. As a lot of y'all know, I was the producer for Alex Jones and Jeff Davis, Steve Lane, George Humphrey, and a lot of those other guys from about 1995 till 2010. And what we're doing is we're busy trying to get all these shows that we did, over 2,200 shows that we did on Access TV, uploaded to YouTube and other social media spots on the internet, getting them off of the old VSH tapes and transferred over to computer, which is not easy. I've hired some people to help me. I've bought a bunch of equipment, and as a lot of y'all know, I'm not computer savvy whatsoever. I dread the day that computers ever was invented, but I'm having to go and do all this because if we don't, these tapes are going to be ruined forever and the history is going to be lost, because these shows that we did back in the 90s were very historical in my opinion, and I think they will be. And a lot of predictions were made on these shows for the future, and I want to get them up. So please subscribe to Mike Hanson Archives on YouTube, Hanson Archives, and my new one is Waco Archives, which anything we did with Waco, you know, we rebuilt the church out there in 1999, and I was friends with a lot of the survivors in the mid-90s, and all those interviews that I can put together, we're going to put on Waco Archives. So I sure appreciate y'all. I'm sorry to interrupt. I'm putting this in between some of the old shows, and if you want to write us, I wrote a book called Bohemian Grove, Cult of Conspiracy, where Alex Jones and I snuck into the Bohemian Grove. I'm funding this operation. If you send me $25 in Gonzales, Texas, I will send you a signed copy of my book, and the money will go to either I give all the money that comes from my book to the Branch Davidian Church, or to help them every year. This year we didn't get to go up there because of the virus. Or I put it into putting these tapes on YouTube. Of course, I have to fund a lot of this myself because that don't go a long way. I just got a box of new books in, so if you'd like to do it, you can also call 830-672-3089 and put it on a credit card. All right, my tacos are here, so I'll talk to you later. God bless.
Hello, folks. This is Mike Hanson for Travis County Constable Precinct 4. And who do we have today? We're here live in Kansas City. You know, it took us a long time to get up here. We went through tornadoes and everything to get here. Did you? Oh, yeah. We had to stop in Oklahoma. I was asleep in the back of the truck and Mason was sleeping. Alex was driving. There was about 70-mile-an-hour wind, so he pulled over in Perry, Oklahoma. What's your story?
Oh, we've been in the Kansas City area for a couple of years, and Alex had me on as a guest about 3 or 4 months ago, and back in 1960 I had an experience. I'm about 50 now, and when I was 7 years old, my mom and dad went back to Cuba with me, and my mom and dad were originally from Cuba, and he thought that Castro was the great liberator of Cuba, and when we got there for about 2 years, took us 2 years to get back off the island, but we got a rude awakening and lived in that country for the first 2 years that Castro was in power. And as soon as we got off the plane, they took all my dad's life savings, strip searched my mother and took all her jewelry, told them where to work, where to live, and they took me away from my parents at gunpoint, where they put me in a Cuban military school for about 6 months. And it was a very hair-raising experience, but especially as a child. But what I told Alex when he had interviewed me before, that the things that I saw happening there parallels exactly what I see happening here. And I've got 9 kids, and I'm really...
9? You've been pretty busy.
Yeah.
All yours?
Oh yeah, yeah. I've got 8. I've got 8 on Earth and 1 in heaven. I got 2 daughters in college in South Florida, and the rest of my crew outside. 4 boys and 2 girls, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, and 12. And they're all looking forward to seeing Alex and meeting them and being out here today.
Hey, well, God bless you. I hope to talk to you later. Thank you. If you're ever in Austin. Okay, folks, we have Lieutenant Colonel Craig Roberts. What are you going to be speaking about today, Colonel? Introduce yourself to the people of Austin, Texas.
I don't know.
Right there.
Oh, I don't know. Me and Billy Bob was talking about it just the other day, and I thought I'd talk about his goat, but he said, no, his pig's much whole lot better to talk about.
All right, welcome to the Freedom Report, finally. We had some few technical difficulties here. Time Warner did. Apparently they've been having some difficulties off and on all day, and of course we got to experience the brunt of them. I would expect nothing less from a Frank Cooksey-run operation. A little sarcasm there for you people who don't have a sense of humor. The Freedom Report. Normally you tune in about now and you'd be listening to the Jeff Davis show. Let me tell you what happened there. Jeff Davis has taken some time off for about 2 or 3 weeks. He just landed a shortwave radio show on the largest, basically, radio broadcast in the world, Christian radio. If you want some details on that, you can dial 512-703-6767. You can get the details on his new show there. He's like many of us that's gotten involved in this. When you take it as seriously as we do, sometimes you sacrifice some sleep and some family and some things like that in order to get this information out. And I think it's taken its toll on him right now. He and Mike both asked me to guest host tonight, and I must admit it was quite an honor to be asked to do this. This is a tough seat to sit in, and I don't pretend to be taking his place tonight. I'm only sitting in his chair. Jeff will be back, though, as soon as, it's my understanding he'll be getting a new time slot as soon as we get that time slot, know what that time slot is. We will make that time available to you and let you know where he's going to be at, what time, what channel, etc. And again, if you want to find out about a shortwave broadcast, just dial 512-703-6767. By the way, this is a call-in show. You can call in and ask us questions here at 477-2288. That's 477 live.
To let you know, we cannot let him know. We can say that he's on the shortwave, but we can't let him
Right.
know what time.
Right, I understand that. I understand. That's why I was asking him to get details on.
We can't even do that. We can't even do that.
On the phone?
No.
Okay, that's fine.
Unless it's a sponsor.
Now, as far as, again, I want to get into this deal with Jeff here a little bit. Let me tell you why. Okay, I've experienced some of this in my own life. When you take this as seriously as some of us do, and you devote as much of your life to this as some of us do, as many of us do, more and more of us, there are certainly things that start being sacrificed in your life. And let me tell you what, this kind of makes me angry, and I'll tell you why. Jeff is definitely a leader in this movement. He was the original, one of the originals here in Austin, the patriarch, if you will. I hope I'm not embarrassing him. He's not old by any stretch, but he's definitely a patriarch in this movement. And for someone like that to be experiencing some of the things he's experiencing now, as myself, as Alex Jones, as many others, it's not right. And I'll tell you how it comes about. It comes about because there are many of you right now sitting on the fence, failing to do anything, failing to take your responsibility in the role of government in our lives. You're sitting there and you're watching from your homes, you're watching from your couch, you're listening to your radios, which is better than nothing. At least you're attempting to inform yourself. And you realize the difference between right and wrong, and you refuse to do anything about it. And because you refuse to act, because you continue to sit on the fence, there are a few of us that are forced to work harder and harder and longer hours and sacrifice more of our personal lives in order to get this information out and in order to press this movement forward. And quite frankly, it's getting to the point where it's really starting to piss me off. You know, Martin Luther King wrote something called Letters from a Birmingham Jail, and I encourage you to go down to your library, read a copy of that. Martin Luther King basically raged about white ministers in Letters from a Birmingham Jail. And why did he rage? He raged because he was constantly in contact and communication with white ministers in the South, white ministers who knew that segregation was wrong, who knew that racism was wrong, but refused to act. They absolutely refused to act. They didn't want to rock the boat. They didn't want to stir up trouble, whatever their reasons were, but they refused to act even though they knew what was happening was wrong. And I wish I could attribute the quote to the right person, but somebody once said that all it takes for evil to prevail is for a few good men to do nothing. And there's a lot of good men out in this audience right now that are refusing to do anything. And as a direct result of that, there are many of us making way too many sacrifices in our personal lives, our private lives, our work lives, our professional lives, and it's starting to take our toll. That's why we are starting heavily. Mike Hanson, myself, Alex Jones, Jeff Davis, Wes Curtis, John Foreman, everybody that's been involved in this movement, we are going to go into recruitment mode. That is, we need every available body to help out in some way, shape, or fashion. It doesn't matter. You can do anything. You can make phone calls. You can call into call-in shows. You can volunteer your time down here at Access. You can research information. There are so many things that you can do without actually having to take time off from work and without taking out too much time of your private life. And isn't it worth it? We're talking about the Constitution here. We're talking about the government. We're talking about children like my two beautiful kids out in the hallway and my beautiful wife out there. Isn't it worth making a few sacrifices to get this information out, to press this movement forward? I'm quite frankly sick and tired of myself and others being sacrificed to push forward this movement. I'm sick of people calling me and approaching me and saying, why don't you talk about this? Maybe you should tell people about that. No, you should tell people about that. That's your responsibility. I've done just about everything I could possibly do and probably beyond that. Jeff Davis has done just about everything he can do and well beyond that, and it's started to take its toll. So it's time. We've been preaching to the choir. Jeff's been preaching to the choir. Alex has been preaching to the choir. It's time for the choir to start singing. Get up off your butt and do something. Get off that fence. It's time to quit right in the middle. It's time to take sides. You either get on the side of evil or you get on the side of good. But for God's sakes, get the hell out of our way. All right, right now we're going to go to a film clip. It's an interview with Ron Neal, who is just elected the new party chair here in Austin. Ron Neal, the party chair of the Libertarian Party. Mike's going to roll that tape right now and interview with him, and we're going to hear his views on the ASAP program. Mike, can you go ahead and roll that?
Hello, my name is Ron Neal. I am the chairman of the Libertarian Party of Travis County, and I want to talk with you about the ASAP program. That's the Absent Student Assistance Program that's currently being conducted by the Travis County government. Many parents are being surprised to see armed constables standing at their doors asking where their children are. Now, the question that we have to ask the people is this the business of the county commissioner's court or the county constable to ask where students are? Travis County Libertarian Party believes in liberty of the individual, and the students, whenever they go to school, it's the school's business at that point to talk with them and to teach them the things they need to know. If students decide they do not want to go to school, or if they want to associate with certain groups that are called gangs or other things, this is within the liberty of that individual. If we start regulating their liberties and telling them they can't do these things, then where do we stop? Whose liberty do we go to next to try to infringe? The Libertarian Party of Travis County believes that the ASAP program should be abolished, not phased back, not made voluntary, but abolished, because it is a infringement on the basic rights of citizens living here in Travis County. If parents want to watch their children better, they can do that. Right now, they can call a constable or a police officer to talk with their children if they wish. They don't need some strong arm coming to their door, surprising the entire family and asking embarrassing questions. We need your help with this program. We need you to be with us Tuesday mornings at 9 o'clock at the County Commissioner's Court at the Stokes Building located on 11th Street. If you'll be with us there and stand with us against this thing, we hope to be able to abolish the ASAP program. There were many parents who stood up against this thing, but when they enacted it into law, there wasn't one parent there that was asked how they felt about the program. We need your input now, and we hope that you'll stand with the Libertarian Party and others that are trying to abolish the ASAP program.
Yeah, I got to tell you, that was a very nice piece by Ron there. He's come out full swing in support of getting rid of the ASAP program. I myself, I feel like I need to have some integrity on the issue. I've always pushed for making the program voluntary. Now, let me be careful there. I'm not trying to say make the law voluntary, as Judge Alshire would try to twist my words and have you believe. What I believe is that the process of sending constables to your door to ask about your children, why weren't they in school today, et cetera, I believe that portion of the program should be voluntary. How would you do that? When you enroll your kids at the beginning of the year and you're filling out your enrollment forms, I think it would be nice to have a form there explaining the ASAP program, how it all works, and you would either sign up for the program saying, yes, if my child's absence and it's an unexcused absence, I give you permission to come to my house and check on that situation, or no, I want no part of this program. That way it becomes a constitutional program and it empowers parents, because there are many parents out there apparently who feel the need to use gentlemen in uniforms with badges and guns to get their children to go to school. And if they want that for their children, even if I think their choices are stupid ones, by God, I'll support their right to make stupid decisions. And that's why I've advocated making the program voluntary. We're going to go some calls right now. I'm sure the lines are jammed up. Keep calling. That number is 477-2288. That's 477-CALL. Just keep trying. The lines will free up, and we'll try and get through a bunch of your calls right now. Go ahead.
Hello?
Caller, you're on the air.
Hey, how you doing?
Pretty good.
Hey, I think I might have turned on the show a little bit later, but I was wondering, could you tell me what happened to the Jeff Davis show?
Yeah.
You might have explained it, but like I said...
No, that's all right. I was expecting this tonight. The Jeff Davis show still is in existence. Jeff has decided to take a break for a couple of weeks, maybe 3 weeks tops. He and Mike Hanson asked me to be here. I feel very honored to be here, by the way. I think it's fantastic that I've been given this time to do this. Again, I'm not trying to fill his spot by any means. I'm just sitting in his chair. He has gotten a shortwave radio show, which you can... right. Okay, he's on shortwave now. I have to be careful here. It's on Christian radio. There's many rules at Access, and I'm only just learning about some of them, so we're trying to be tiptoe through this situation. But at any rate, He is going to be on shortwave radio, on Christian radio. There's many different ways to inquire about that. You can just figure it out on your own as we go through the show. But he will be back. As soon as we find out what his time slot is, we will be telling everyone, and we'll be definitely glad to have him back. We're going to go to the next caller. Caller, go ahead.
Yeah, how's it going there?
Pretty good.
All right. Yeah, one of our most brilliant patriots, Thomas Jefferson, once said, if the people, or if the government fears the people...
Well, caller, I don't mean to interrupt you. Sorry, I just, I lost the sound of you, caller. I can't hear anything you're saying right now, so it's kind of been the nature of the show tonight. They're going to adjust that and bring you up here in a second, so just sit tight, caller.
Can you hear me now?
Oh, okay. Yeah, I can hear you. You're back now. Sorry about that. Many technical difficulties
That's
down
all right.
here.
Yeah, that's, that doesn't surprise me here with Time Warner, but...
Yeah, well, you know, cooks, you know.
Anyways, yeah, Thomas Jefferson once said, if the government fears the people, we have liberty, and if the people fear the government, we have tyranny.
I agree totally.
As we're on the verge of gun control right now, you know, the people need to wake up out there and, you know, get it together, man.
Actually, I heard a little bit about that on the radio today. It's my understanding. I encourage anyone to call in who knows more about this than I do. I just caught the tail end of it today. Apparently, Clinton, through, I think via executive order or through old legislation, is trying to put a further ban on weapons, and I believe it has something to do with semi-automatic rifles and the amount of bullets that contained within the clips. Do you know something about that?
Yeah, that's correct. I think there was like 50 weapons that are now banned. And
I think there's only about 20 specific.
They don't take it all at once. They do it little by little. So.
Right. I think there's only 20 right now specifically named, and I know what it was. I heard someone from the National Rifle Association today speaking about this. They said there was approximately 20 rifles specifically named in the original 94 Clinton gun ban, and then there's roughly 200 that are in essence banned because of their features, and that through the way it was being explained to me, and again, I haven't researched this yet, so I don't quite have the facts, but what was being explained by this NRA person was that Clinton, through executive order, is trying to further make changes to that Clinton gun ban as far as the cosmetics of these rifles, which was originally what was happening. They weren't banning so much guns or their action as much as the cosmetics of these guns.
It's ridiculous as far as I'm concerned, but you know, whatever. King Clinton, he's gonna, you know, he's gonna go.
He's not my king.
I know. Well, Tyrant Clinton. Let me put it that way. I'll say that.
That's right. You know, somebody just made the
more callers get in there.
Sure. Somebody just made the comment. All for gun control. Raise your right hand.
Yeah, right. Along with Hitler.
I got to be careful. Somebody's going to freeze that clip and say, "Oh, look, he's a Nazi." Hey, we're going to go to the next call. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Caller. Oh. Caller, go ahead.
Hello, Steve. Rick Hobbecker here.
Hey, Rick. How's it going?
Fine, just fine.
Golly, you're announcing your name. That's total. That's very brave of you. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah. Listen, what did Alex, did Alex Jones, how did he plead that day that he was took in for disorderly conduct?
Alex is actually going to be on it at the end of the show for a few minutes.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, if you could call back then, or I'll make sure to whisper in his ear and tell him that.
Yeah, I'd like to know how he pled and what he plans to do. You know, if he wants to, if he pled not guilty, or if he pled not guilty within the time frame that he's allowed by law, I'd really like to know what he plans to do, and you know, see what we can do to help him on that. I'm slowly but surely checking the Texas session laws on truancy prevention.
Right.
And I'm going to have to go back to probably do the looking around at one of the major university libraries around here, and to get you the answers that we're looking for. But it still looks like Bill Alshire and his friends in Travis County are wishing that they had what they have in Florida. And you know, you remember I checked that out.
That's right.
And they have an express legislation in Florida that the legislature gave law enforcement people to go to people's homes.
Let me jump in there a second, Rick.
Yeah.
For those of you who don't know, again, I don't know that I'd call myself a conspiracy theorist, but I'm not a coincidence theorist either. But I will tell you, The last Tuesday's Commissioners Court, where they made a few incremental changes to the ASAP program, I think is a direct result of us rallying against it. That Sunday on a program on CBS, 60 Minutes, they ran a story about a similar program down in, I believe it was Jacksonville, Florida. And what was unique about that program is, Rick alluded to it a little bit, they actually have specific legislation which allows them to do that. Also, too, and again, I didn't get the whole story. I tried to go to the 60 Minutes website today, and I've got the 800 number I need to buy that video cassette. But at any rate, the part that I caught was that they get parents, after their kids are truant for a while, to sign an agreement saying, all right, we'll try our hardest to get this kid to school, and if we fail in this responsibility, you can come arrest me. It was something to that effect. They sign a contract, and I think it's interesting that they go and arrest these parents with lots of news cameras, and they admitted it right there on 60 Minutes. They said, oh yeah, we try and take all the media we can to send a message to these parents. And one of the really unique things was they asked one of the gentlemen there, I think he was the prosecuting attorney, and they said, well, what do you think about this? Parents who say, you know, you're going too far, you've gone too far, you're overstepping your authority. And he said, well, I don't know that we're overstepping it. He goes, certainly we're pushing it to its very limits, but isn't it all worth it because it's for the children? And I'm not kidding. I paraphrased it loosely, but he did say that it's for kids, and in that essence, I guess, you're allowed to defecate all over the Constitution.
Well, at least, you know, over there in Florida, they, you know, the citizens of Florida stood still or asked their legislature, you know, to approve this, and that's their business.
That's right.
Here in Texas, we have very clearly a law that does not allow this to happen, what's happening in Travis County. And it's very clearly, there's nothing ambiguous about the language but Bill Alshire tried to make it sound like it is.
That's right.
And I'm going to keep going further back in time to the section laws, to the exact section of the Education Code, 25.091A, that one little sentence where it doesn't mention law enforcement at all. And when I get it, we're going to go to the Commissioner's Court again on a Tuesday.
That's right.
And we're going to read it to him, and I'm going to see to it that you and any other person, an access producer with a show, has this to put on your CG there. And apparently, we're going to demonstrate that the leaders in Travis County, they can't read.
Oh,
liberals are just that way anyway. When it comes to obeying the written law, they've got no use for it.
Rick, I can't wait until I get to get to the person who helped author and sponsor that bill. There's specific points of that law that I think were written there to protect your privacy in situations such as these. And when I get that guy who helped craft that legislation, or those gentlemen or those females, say, hey, you guys are tromping all over everything we worked for. We put this here just so people, just in order that people, oh, look at the little wily little female they show on your, I love it. I love it. They're not going to show the big hulking guy that's actually probably going to your door. They show the little wily female.
I used to work with some of those people at Travis County. They get, you know, I'm not a small guy, but there's some people up there that are, you know, that I used to work with. Some big old, I mean, they look like they could be linebackers for the pros.
Well, I just can't wait to see their faces when we get those people in there to help craft that legislation, and they say, you people are wrong, you are misinterpreted, we worked very hard to protect people's privacy on this issue, and you're tromping all over that. And I can't wait to see their faces and see them trying to squirm out of that, because they've tried to manipulate my words, they've tried to shut me down. In fact, I think it's interesting, if you look at the Channel 17 tapes of the Commissioner's Court from that day, you'll see that you can't see off camera, but many people can testify to this in some of the video that we have, that the county attorney, or one of the assistant county attorneys, actually swooped down next to me, and I didn't hear this because I was very focused on what I had to say, but apparently they were threatening to arrest me, and one of them had said something about get a camera, apparently to, I don't know, take a picture of me getting arrested or whatever, because let me make an important point there. Now, this makes me angry. Judge Alshire, you should be absolutely ashamed of yourself. You are supposed to follow the law. The law is Title I of the Commissioner's Court, and I believe it's Section 1.016, which says very clearly that the Commissioner's Court adopts Robert's Rules of Order, as its rules to follow, and he clearly violated Texas state law, when he told me, Mr. Lane, sit down, you're through. There was a debatable motion that had been made. I had the floor. He did not take the necessary steps to suspend, limit, or end debate. All he said was, Mr. Lane, you're through, sit down. Let me tell you something. I took time off work. I've spent an incredible number of hours researching the ASAP program. I have a binder about 5 inches thick. I paid $11 for parking down there, and he's telling me, oh, Mr. Lane, you're going to have to sit down and be quiet. No, and I refuse to be quiet. And I'll tell you something right now. They were this close to carting me away, and I'd have let them do it, save one thing. My 5-year-old girl was there because I brought her there. I wanted her there for moral support for me so I could look at her and be inspired by that. My wife was there. My beautiful 8-month-old baby was there. And I thought to myself, you know, if I get carted off by the police in front of my 5-year-old little girl, that seriously could affect her. It's not going to affect her whole life, but I think it could have hurt her emotionally for maybe even a couple of years, and I wasn't going to let him do that. But I'll tell you right now, Alshire, that's the only reason you didn't cart my butt off that day.
I think we all got a good lesson in liberal. These were classic liberals.
Yeah.
They have absolutely no use for the law when it doesn't work to their end.
That's right.
And you know, again, Judge Alshire, when any of these lawsuits come, when there's a lawsuit filed, Judge Alshire is going to be long gone.
Yeah.
He's not going to be there to clean up the mess.
Actually, no. We're pressing ahead. There'll be a lawsuit filed sooner than that.
I have no doubt about it. But by the time it comes to a decision by a court or a judge,
yeah, I agree.
Alshire will be gone.
I agree. Hey, Rick, I don't mean to be rude. We're going to get to a couple more quick calls, and then we're going to get to an interview with Lieutenant Beck. Thanks for calling, Rick. Caller, go ahead.
Hey, Steve, how's it going?
Hey, pretty good.
This is Chris Fryer. I had the pleasure of meeting you down at the protest against the thumb scanning.
Thank you.
And met the other guys down there. It was really great.
Yeah.
Well, it's getting pretty bad here in Travesty County right now.
Travesty. I like that.
First of all, I wanted to know, I am prepared to write a letter or follow up in some way to our legislators or whoever we need to contact to try to repeal this law. With the thumb scanning. It's my understanding that Alabama, I think it was Alabama.
I think it's either Alabama or Georgia.
Yeah,
Alex knows about it.
Right. They denied it. Are they not receiving federal funding for highways?
I believe they are. Actually, this is a suggestion. I haven't got a chance to speak to Alex this past week. What I was going to suggest, kind of, I think what you're suggesting is that if they've somehow managed to get rid of it, we need to model what they're doing there. Copy everything almost verbatim. If they've managed to get rid of it, I think what they've only managed to do is postpone it, but I don't know. Again, Alex is going to be here later. Maybe he can explain about that a little bit. There is a website about that, and I got to glance at it a little bit last night.
Well, unfortunately, my apartment was ripped off about a week ago, and the police department was no help. They're so friendly.
Yeah. They're all busy out tracking down those truants.
You have insurance. No, sorry, I don't have insurance. So, anyway, the other thing I was going to find out is about repealing that, and if not, I am now driving illegally because I do not have a new driver's license.
Well, you're driving without a license. That doesn't mean you're driving illegal. If you get down to the real technical, libertarian, constitutional view of that, you're quite legal driving without a license.
Cool. Well, I keep getting a little ringing here.
Yeah.
Sorry. The other thing I was going to say
is your TV turned down?
It is all the way down.
Okay.
I don't know what the deal is.
Okay.
Turn it off. What I was also going to say is that if we have another demonstration like we had, I think we're going to have to really get some even really bigger numbers out there. I know there are hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people in this town. I talk to them every day.
Yeah, well, they're a bunch of fence riders. They're right now. There's so many people riding that fence, just being a cheering section. Hey, we're going to let you go and get to another call here.
Okay.
But at any rate, there's a lot of people just being cheerleaders, and they think they're doing a great job by cheerleading. What they really need to do is get into the game. Stop standing on the sidelines. Get in the game. Pick a side. Either be my enemy or be my friend. But stop making me figure out which one you are. By the way, speaking of protest, Texans for Freedom, including Jeff Davis and Alex Jones, will be leading an IRS protest. That's at downtown at the, is that at the IRS building or the post office? Oh, there it is right there. At the post office at Guadalupe 6. That's April 15th, the real April Fool's Day, April 15th, 1998, at 6 o'clock p.m. Look, for all you people that just can't seem to find your way to do anything, my God, it's 6 o'clock at night. Get your butt down there and act like you care. Don't call in and pat people on the back and say, oh, great job. Go down there and do a great job yourself. It's time we pick sides. Line up and show your true colors. Show us, are you my enemy or are you my friend? Because right now there's too many of you, I can't tell the difference. Because there are too many enemies that sit silent and there's too many friends that sit silent. This is why we're making this recruiting call. This is why we're going to be doing this over the next couple months. It's time to increase the numbers. It's time to increase the unity. We have proved to you that you can get up off your butt and do something and make a difference. Let's get everybody involved and make an incredible difference. Right now we're going to go to a little interview here with Lieutenant Beck of the Travis County Sheriff's SWAT team, which, by the way, I have invited, and he has accepted, graciously accepted, I might add, to be our featured speakers at the Texas Best Seminars Downsize Government Conference. That's the last Sunday this month. Let's go to that tape.
Here we are with Lieutenant Beck, commander of the Travis County SWAT team, and I have to tell you, he's been one of the most honest people through this whole shenanigan, and I appreciate you being out here to talk to us, sir.
Anytime, Alex.
Listen, when you invited me over last week to talk to you, y'all were real friendly and explained things to me that basically y'all weren't sure on the law, and that's why y'all approached me and gave me the code about false alarm report. But again, I want to thank you for agreeing to come out to the Downsized Government Conference, not this next Sunday, but the last Sunday of next month, to come out and try to reassure people that local law enforcement is going to stay local and that y'all are going to try to be our guardians here locally against the federal government, or at least y'all will uphold the Constitution, correct?
That's correct. We'll be there. I'll be there.
And thanks for his honesty, too. Yes, thank you for your honesty. And again, that's going to be not this month, the last Sunday of March, but the last Sunday of April.
Yeah.
That's at 1:30 at the Cherry Inn on North I-35. We appreciate you coming out. And listen, bring anybody else you want, the FBI, everybody's invited, so they know that we are good citizens that appreciate law enforcement. We're just worried about Bill Clinton and Janet Reno right now.
Well, I'll be there.
All right, thank you very much, sir.
All right, Alex.
Thanks a lot.
That's going to cost. What do I get off of this? $50? It's an advertisement.
Send it for all training and finding and knowing, and I have her look at it on farming. Good.
Oh, good.
I'm scanning. Let me ask you. And it turned out y'all did the right thing. Lieutenant Beck. Lieutenant Beck, again, commander of the Travis County SWAT team.
You want this on film?
Yes. Go ahead. Yes, he's right here. Okay.
Can you say John?
Yeah, like I'm teasing. Mike knows I love him. Lieutenant Beck, again, commander of the Travis County SWAT team. Now, what's this about the challenge I've issued to y'all that I can outshoot y'all for a six-pack of Coca-Cola? I bet I can.
Was it Coca-Cola?
I think you said a six-pack of beer. I'll be glad to have that, too. What's the challenge now? The challenge
was from you, Alex.
is with a Remington 700 with a good Leopold scope at 200 yards on a low-wind day. I can shoot to the same hole after a couple shots.
How many rounds?
I can shoot to the same hole with 5 rounds.
5 rounds?
Not in a row. I'm saying with 5 shots I can shoot.
We got guys that'll take you on.
You got guys that'll take me on?
Take a beer.
All right. Hey, one more question. What are you going to do one day if the MJTF under Clinton commands you to go door to door and take firearms?
I don't even think there is such a thing.
Oh, there isn't such a thing as the MJ?
I don't think there is.
Is that top secret, sir?
I don't think there is. It must be, because I don't know about it.
Let me ask you one more question. Did you hear about Secretary of Defense William Cohen creating this new 10-region rapid reaction anti-terrorist and anti-militia team security force?
No, I've never heard of that.
That's to work with local law enforcement. That was on CNN last week, right after in fact, the very day I talked to you, and you assured me that that would never happen. They are now doing it, and they're finalizing it for a 10-region FEMA team hooked up with the Defense Department.
Oh, on that, the gas deal or something? What were they talking about, the gas? The chemical weapon?
Well, under the guise of that, under the guise of terrorism, they talk about how the military under FEMA and Joint Task Force control with the Defense Department are going to be working with local law enforcement. I told you.
Yeah, I know about that. I heard about that. Here you go. Here's a. You need some powder on your head, shining boy. Good thing the windows are tinted.
Oh, people are up there? What are people up there?
Nah, we're just sitting there.
So your commandos are on the roof again?
Nah, we're doing boards today.
Or is that a satellite up there? Or is that a black helicopter?
There you go.
We appreciate it, Commander.
Anytime, Alex. Anytime.
These guys are going to be in the revolution with us when Clinton tries to take over.
Who takes over now?
When Clinton.
Oh, okay.
What about her husband?
Seriously, you're aware that the UN wants to restrict our fossil fuels and has taken over some of our national parks under the Man and Biosphere Act, and Clinton gave them the executive order for immunity in these actions. Executive order 12,986. Are you familiar with that, Lieutenant Beck?
No, I'm not.
How about I get you some documents on that?
Yeah, bring them. I'd like to read them.
And then you can research it out of the actual Federal Register and everything for yourself and find out that Clinton really is selling us out.
Yeah, bring them. I like to see them.
I bet you he could tell you all the ingredients to a Budweiser beer.
Yeah, I'm a home brewer. I'm a home brewer.
Well, thank you very much.
And show you how to accurately
There, again, SWAT commander of MJTF.
Here we go again. Bring the beer. Bring the beer.
Bring the beer.
Let me tell you something. Lieutenant Beck is, I've engaged him in many conversations now over the telephone. He's the genuine article, man. If you want to see the quintessential police officer that's been around for a while, pretty much seen it all, not too rattled by just about anything, he's definitely the guy to see. You can see him at the Downsized Government Conference at the last Sunday this month at the Chariot Inn. We're going to take a few more calls here now. I know it's jammed up. The lines are jammed. Keep calling. That number is 477-2288. That's 477-CALL. We're going to try to take some calls here for about another 5 minutes or so. Caller, go ahead.
Steve?
Yes.
You had 13 minutes and 40...
Oh, hey. Yeah. Sorry, it's not Terry Parker's show. Caller, go ahead.
Mr. Steve?
Yes.
Yeah, I've been watching the Jeff Davis show and everybody for like about a year or so.
Uh-huh.
And I like what y'all are doing. I like what y'all are saying.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't like you calling me a couch potato just because, you know, I just watch. I mean, but I do talk to people at work and stuff like that. But, I mean, look at it like, don't you think some people are kind of nervous about getting involved because the government, you know, if they find out, you know, they can take away your whole life and everything. I mean, like, what am I supposed to do? Go to the seminars?
Okay.
And then they get my license plate, and then they come, you know, rip out, you know, carry me away, my wife, and my job, and everything I got just at stake.
Well, let me tell you something.
I'm trying to do something, you know, but...
Let me tell you something. The path we have started down, my friend, if you continue down it, you will have no life. You will have no car. You will have no license. You will have no freedom whatsoever. I don't know where I heard it. Gosh, I wish I could attribute these quotes correctly, but I'm sorry I can't. I heard somewhere, your heart is free. You must have the courage to follow it. Now, you know in your heart that these things are wrong. And when you refuse to stand up and do something about it, you are part of the problem. Standing by doing nothing is contributing to the problem. I mean, standing by and watching. I got a question for you. If you were walking down the street and you saw a man start to get brutally beaten, just apparently for no reason to you, would you stand and watch idly by?
Well, I mean, that's a hypothetical question.
It certainly is. It certainly is. But yet you will watch...
Yeah, you're talking about a big
Wait,
monster.
let me finish. You'll watch your Constitution...
It's a big monster. There's nothing I can really... much I could do if it's a big monster.
No,
you'll... monster guy beating somebody.
You can do something. You could hop in your car and run him down. You could call the police. There are so many things you can do.
Well,
you're thinking too obvious. You're thinking about, I can't get in there and throw some blows. And you may be right with these larger issues that we're talking about. Yeah. I don't pretend to think you can go take on Bill Clinton. But you can go take on your city council. You can go take on your county government. You can even take on your state government. We have proved it. There's no excuse anymore to not do this.
Well, do people mess, do people mess with y'all? Do people follow y'all around and when y'all leave?
I have never caught anybody following me. I don't get, you know what? The only strange phone calls I get are from people that are riding the fence. That fear. No, seriously, I get people calling my house, and I don't know how they get my number, and they say, "Oh, Steve, why don't you talk about this? You're missing the point on this. Why don't you talk about this?" Heck, they're the ones that should be talking about it. They're almost experts on it.
Yeah, well, if you watch the Jeff and Alex people for a year, you're going to be more knowledgeable than any other.
No, I agree. I mean, that's a step in the right direction, and I'm not criticizing people for watching. I'm criticizing people for just watching. It's time to take sides. Hey, we're going to have to get to another call.
People are scared maybe some people are scared because they don't want to lose what they got at least. Because they don't want the big government thug boot.
But see, that's exactly what they want you to believe. Would you rather live one day truly free, one day truly free, or 100 days in tyranny? Which would you rather choose? I know which I'd choose. I'd choose the one day. Hey, we got to get to the next call. Thanks for calling. Caller, go ahead.
Hi, how are you this afternoon?
Pretty good, pretty good.
This is Leland. Listen, I've many times have been watching Alex and Jeff and you guys and everything, and I've heard Alex talk about the executive order that gives the about the urine testing and everything. And I've been trying to look it up on the internet, and I can't find it.
You know what? Does somebody have a copy of that?
Order number. Can somebody give me the
it's in the
number?
Federal Registry. I've seen a copy of it. They're getting a copy of it right now. I'll tell you what, if you'll do this, if you'll, do you have another question we can talk about here? While somebody's getting that, we can come back up later on, and I'll bring that up, and I'll even tell you which website to go to.
Today I was watching on CNN, the president was doing, signing in this new weapons bill for the
children, which, by the way, while Congress...
the Mississippi, the kids that were shot in Mississippi.
Well, you notice that he did that while Congress was out of session.
Yeah, of course he did.
Now, see, that's no accident. That is, and you'll notice too that with the Clinton administration, all bad news comes out on Saturday. That's not an accident.
Yeah.
They know. All their friends are in the media. They know. They know how to manipulate, how to try to manipulate.
Well, hello, folks. It's Mike Hanson here. Sorry to interrupt your classic viewing here on YouTube, but I just want to take a second to tell you, most of y'all know that I was the producer for Alex Jones and Jeff Davis from 1995 till 2010, and I'm busy editing and putting up all these old VHS tapes from the 1990s up on YouTube. So be sure to subscribe to Mike Hanson Archives on YouTube, and Hanson Archives is our new one, and our newest new one is Waco Archives. Anything we've done with Waco, we're going to put it up there for you. And just to let you know, we're funding it by, if you send $25 to 901 St. Joseph Street in Gonzales, Texas, 78629, we'll send you a copy of my new book, Bohemian Grove, Cult of Conspiracy, when Alex Jones and I snuck into the Bohemian Grove. So we'll get you right back to your viewing here. Back in the 1990s, a lot of stuff has been predicted on these historical tapes, and I want to get them up on YouTube before they completely ruin. Those tapes usually are good for about 10 years, and they're about 27 years old now, so we're trying to get them up as fast as we can. We bought all the equipment, we've hired people, and if you'd like to call us and put it on a credit card, our number is 830-672-3089. 830-672-3089. All right, thanks a lot and God bless. We'll see you next time right here on YouTube.
Come on, anybody want to come up here? All right, that's it. All right, who wants to lead it? Let Gene go. Go ahead. Yes, sir. Here's all right. God bless the Republic. Death to the New World Order.